So I want to build a hotel in this Sims floor where each room represents a different planet. And we can build it here because this entire world looks like it's in outer space. Of course, you know that each planet has different characteristics and properties that makes it unique, and you may also know that planets play a huge role in astrology. Like they are connected to the zodiac signs and they have different meanings behind them in that category as well. So with all of that combined, I think we're going to be able to make a really cool build today. But before we get started, we do have a quick word from our sponsor. This video is sponsored by Dev Sisters USA, the creators of Cookie Run Kingdom. And this is a really exciting sponsor because Cookie Run Kingdom is collaborating with Wicked. But if you don't know, Cookie Run Kingdom is an RPG where you can build your own kingdom, battle your way to victory, and the best part, you're playing as cookie heroes. So when I found out that there would be 2 new cookies from the Wicked universe added to the game, I was so excited to play. I need to play as Glinda Cookie and Elphaba Cookie. It just has to happen. The Wicked update features decor and costumes inspired by the Wicked movie, and this is a limited time collaboration as it runs from November 22nd to December 30th. In addition, you'll also see other Land of Oz characters as NPCs. There's a Dr. Dillamond cookie, a Nessa Rose cookie, and a Madame Morrible cookie. There's also a new battle event called Arcade Arena Magical Clash, which is a limited time PvP event. I love this collaboration. I can't wait to play. So if you guys want to check out Cookie Run Kingdom and their new Wicked collaboration, you can check it out using the link in the description below. Okay, so first we need to build our shell. This lot is actually not buildable unless you cheat it. So we have to open up the cheat bar and type in bb.enable free build, and then we'll be good to go. I want this build to look super futuristic, like one big fantasy inspired space station. We're gonna need enough room to fit everything, like all of the rooms, and I also want to include common spaces, like a bar or a restaurant or something like that. So right now I'm just building off of this octagonal space, but then I also think I'm gonna start bringing it out this way, and I'm going to be bringing it forward like this as well. I think I want this to be fairly symmetrical, so I'll do the same thing on the other side, and I've played around with it, and so far this is my shell. I want to start adding fences, and for space inspired packs we have Journey to Batuu. We are going to be using this a lot today, especially for things like clutter on the outside, maybe for windows and things like that too, but for now I'm just going to be using this fence. I want to use a different material out here as well, so I'm going to use this metal fence from high school years that can be along the balcony spaces. I'm going to add a couple towers here, and then I'm going to start to add my trim so we can bring in that whimsical element. I'm going to start to add my roofing, and for the roofing we're going to go all metal with it. I think I'll use this dome shape for the top part, and then I can go in with a hipped roof piece and we can curve that out. And for metal roofing, I love using this one from Eco Lifestyle. It's just so shiny, and then we could add another detail to it by going around the trim with the same fence, right? And then we can go in with the same sort of idea on the sides. By the way, I apologize for the lack of uploads this week, you guys. I have been dying. I think I had the flu. It was literally terrible, and I feel like everybody is sick right now. So if you're watching this laying in bed, I really hope you feel better. I was in the same boat, like still not feeling 100%, but I am luckily on the mend. Ugh, the worst. But I'm gonna go in with some metal paneling from Growing Together, and then we're gonna start going in with our doors and windows. I'm gonna use a lot from Journey to Batuu, but I also want a different glass window Growing Together. Then we can alternate between those and these windows from Journey to Batuu, and then I'm thinking I want this to be like motel style, so each door is going to be outside leading into the rooms. So I guess that means I should probably figure out the layout. So for our planetary facts today, we're gonna be using the NASA website, and according to NASA we have 8 planets and 5 dwarf planets. I'm not gonna worry about the dwarf ones today. We're gonna focus just on the 8 planets, I think. So that means we can have 4 hotel rooms on the top floor, and we'll have 4 down here at the bottom as well. Then we can keep this middle part as a common space, and now I can lay out my doors accordingly. I feel like lighting is going to play a big role in this build, so I'm using these ones from Journey to Batuu. Of course, we are covering this thing in the Touch of Starlight item from Lovestruck. I've also been going in with these columns from Get Famous just to bring in that whimsical aspect. I'm adding in these roofing details, and now that we have windows and doors pretty much covered, I want to start going in with our Journey to Batuu details. I'm going to make sure we open up debug, and I'm going to scroll through and see if we can find any weird details to add. Like I can add this detail on my roofing. There are these overhangs. I might shrink these and then add them over top of my doors. I like how that looks. With this control panel item, we can size this up, and then I'll place that right here on the side. And then for this aesthetic, there are also some weird items we can use from Strangerville. Like this item, I feel feel like it always looks cool as like a column, so I'm gonna put that in front of my doors. And then there are journey to bed 2 boxes we can add outside, just like clutter we can put around. We can also make a seating area out here. I'll add some of the futuristic flowers. What if we had like a parking situation going on, but it was for the spaceships? Like we can add them in different colors out here. And then we can use the pool lights from Spa Day to make the actual parking spots. I actually like how that looks, so I think I might try and use this trim all the way around. Of course, this build is going to need telescopes and observatories, and it would be really cool if we had a functioning rocket ship here. So I'm going to add that onto this like circular launch pad at the front. And there we go. This is the outside of our space station hotel. I feel like I don't make futuristic builds all that often on this channel, but whenever I do, I always surprise myself with how much I like how it turns out. Like this is so cool with all of the little details. I love the spaceship parking. I feel like it just fits this lot so well. And this is gonna be a nerdy Sims dream with like all of the telescopes and the observatories. So far, this is looking really cool, but now we have to start building the rooms. So we're gonna go in order, and that means we're starting with Mercury. So Mercury is the smallest planet, and they're also closest to the sun. And because of its proximity to the sun, that means there's not really a whole lot going on here. It is the fastest planet, meaning it speeds around the sun like every 88 days. And in Greek mythology, Mercury was known as the quick messenger, bringing messages to and from the gods. So in astrology, Mercury represents logic, communication, and reason. So we need to build this room for a messenger, maybe a radio host, maybe they're like a journalist. I want my color palette here to be gray with like little hints of blue. And I guess since I am going to be personalizing these, it would make more sense for this to be a dorm building or like a long-term hotel. Maybe these are actually like workers living here, or it could be students, but I'm definitely going to add a chess table. This can represent the logic aspect. The computer can represent communication. And obviously I want all of these rooms to have like a little bit of a space theme. I feel like that's going to be part of the fun. The starlights are going to come in very clutch today, as they always do. And I could see us using these lights a lot. These come from the movie Hangout stuff pack. And then to match them, we have this star ceiling decoration from Seasons. I want to use a lot of the atomic furniture. I think I want to change up some of the lighting in this room to make it more blue. Like that made it look so much better. It is a little ironic that this is already the smallest room we have. Like I don't really have room for a bathroom in here. I think some of them will be able to have it, but not this one, not Mercury. They are just gonna have to be quick-footed into the common bathroom area. I will be nice and give them a mini fridge though. They're also getting a listening device. How else are they gonna have so much to communicate about? I'll add an ottoman at the end of the bed. I'm adding some curtains here from For Rent. Oh, and then we should also add some of the phone decor, also symbolizing communication. Like this old phone here, we could add a cell phone. I love this wall phone too. Maybe I can put that over here by the bed. We could add a cork board so they can keep track of all their information. And then I wouldn't mind this in being a little messy too. Like we could have files and letters on the floor. I can add some of these books here from the book nook kit, adding that nice like academic cluttered look. And then I feel like these pillars would look really nice in here from the refined living room kit. I'm tempted to add another phone and then some other kind of decor here like this. I'll add some more stars on this side. And then one issue we might run into is plants, because technically like majority of these planets do not have plants on them, but I don't know how I'm going to be able to honor that little piece of information. Like, okay, we could use this fake plant. This is actually a lamp from Enchanted by Nature, and it does have a little spacey element to it. So I'm just moving everything over a little bit so I can make room for that. As the final thing, I'm going to add this clock over here, and there we go. This is the room for Mercury. I don't know what they're up to in here. Doesn't matter. I do like this bedroom. I feel like it's so cute. I like the listening device. There's actually a few different things to do in here too. Oh, you know what? We do need a dresser in here though. So I'm just gonna move some of these books over and I'll squeeze that dresser right in here. And we'll just add some like files on there or something. Okay, there we go. That's our room for Mercury. Let's move on. And the next one will be for Venus. So Venus is the second planet from the sun, and it's actually the one that's closest to us. I think it's so beautiful. It just looks like this big pearly like marble, which is ironic because Venus is named after the Roman goddess of love and beauty. It is the only planet named after a female god, and in astrology, Venus rules our emotional selves and it represents love, beauty, and money. So I need to section this off somehow because that door is not gonna match. I need something light in here. I might use some marble marble flooring, and then we can use this one for the bathroom. For the wallpaper, we need something soft and pretty. What about this one from Life and Death? I might opt for like a beige, so maybe we could do a beige brick in there, and then something natural as well for the bathroom. And I want to do a pretty archway leading into this one too. Like this one from Realm of Magic is perfect. Then we can section this off. I'm gonna play a lot with platforms here, just because we're gonna be making so many bedrooms. I want them to all look different. And for the bed, we need something super pretty like this one from High School Years, or even something with a canopy like this one from For Rent. That one is perfect. I want to use these pillars again beside the bed, and then we could add some candles on there. Oh, actually these ones would be pretty from Love Struck. And then we need mirrors. I need vanities. I could use this one from Vintage Glamour. We also need a door for the bathroom. We cannot forget that. And actually I'm gonna rearrange this. The vanity can go here. Again, on here I want to add candles. We can add the perfume tray from Vintage Glamour. And then for the lighting, I'm setting everything to like a really cool toned white, but then I want to change the candles to an orangey glow. And then we're gonna end up with this really pretty light to the room. I'm gonna add this big dresser from Vampires. I think I want to add a frame TV over here, and then underneath we can add one of those marble tables from Dine Out. I actually really like those For Rent curtains that we use, so I'm gonna add those again. The only thing is the lighting changes the color of like the mounted piece, so Yield Faithful Desert Luxe it is. I also want to decorate with flowers. Oh, and then I was also thinking we could use the flower petals from My Wedding Stories. There's like a rug you can use. It's kind of like meant to be an aisle, which is fitting for this room. I feel like for this one we need to have their own kitchen, so that's what I'm gonna do in this room. This way they don't have to leave. And I think I'll use the built-in ovens from Dream Home Decorator today. I'll use these cabinets from Parenthood. We can do a mirror backsplash. I can fit these pillars on the ends. Cute. And then we could do a dining table over on this side. Just something smaller, like maybe this table from the bistro kit. We could probably even use the bistro chairs. For the centerpiece, I'll do a little moonlight. We could add this heart wall decor from My Wedding Stories. And then of course we're gonna need the VIP bucket somewhere in here. I think I'm gonna raise it so it's on top of the fridge. So it'll just be like peeking out like this, or even better, the champagne bucket. I do wish the champagne bucket gave off a romantic decor like the VIP bucket. Maybe I can like combine them, because the champagne bucket is just so much cuter. There we go. Okay, kitchen is done. I need to go and make a bathroom, which I think I'm raising this up on platforms too. This will be so extra, but then we can have the swan tub like on top of the platform, and then we can add a big fancy mirror. We could do the Vintage Glamour rug, and then we're gonna need the fancy toilet from Get Famous. I think I'll put that over on this side. I'll move my door over a little more. That way I can fit both the sink and the toilet right there. I need some pretty pictures in here. Same as in this room, I need a little something extra. Ooh, these look good in here. Okay, I'm gonna add these maybe over top of the toilet, and then I'm also gonna add one in here as well. All right, so there we go. We have our bathroom for Venus, complete with our bathtub, and then over on this side, we have our bedroom. I love how soft and pretty it is in this one, with the flower petals on the floor. They of course have their own kitchen, cute little dining space. So that is what we've got for Venus. Okay, let's move on from here. Let's go across, and next we're going to do Earth. This one, I mean, we all know and love, although sometimes we don't act like it, but this one I'm guilty of always thinking is like boring, which is ridiculous. It's apparently the only one inhabited by living things, because it's the only planet in our solar system with liquid water on it, which is crazy. We've got seasons, we've got weather, oceans, volcanoes. The fact that this planet has everything on it that we need to survive is literally crazy, dude. Like when you think about it, this is the only name that does not come from Greek or Roman mythology. The name was actually taken from an old English name, which means the ground. And in astrology, it represents stability and practicality. So I think this one has to be cozy. We're gonna focus on nature. I want the sim who lives in this one to maybe have like a nurturing vibe. They could potentially be one of the older sims. For wallpaper, I feel like I want to use this one from Cottage Living. And then we could use the really pretty Enchanted by Nature bed. We are taking full advantage of the planty vibe. This might be, well, this is probably our only chance. So I'm gonna use these vine curtains. I wish I knew a little more about astronomy in general. I feel like I wanted to start like learning more about this. I actually took a course in university on astronomy because it was like the only online course you could take at the time. It's just a subject I've always found really interesting. I mean, unfortunately, a lot of that information that I learned has left the brain, as has most information I've learned during my university experience. But like, how cozy is this? I want the egg chairs in here. chair. Do you think 2 egg chairs is too much? I do. I think I'm gonna just have one, and then we can add another like rattan sort of chair like this. We can use these lamps here from Outdoor Retreat, and then I think some of these pictures from cats and dogs could really work. They have pictures of like the sea, so I really want to bring in that element too. Some of them also have pictures of greenery. Let me see. Oh, there's a map. Okay, perfect. We are also using the tallest wall height in this build. I don't think I mentioned that, but that's why it seems like there's so much space, and I don't normally like to do this. I just wanted it to look really grand from the outside. This is so cute so far. Okay, I do have room for a kitchen here too, which makes sense. Planet Earth can be the host. We can have like a big kitchen here with some cabinets over top. I'll finish this end off instead with some shelving. I feel like that looks cute. Ooh, we do need some stairs here. That is a high platform. And then I'll add a table, and we should be able to fit 4 chairs. There we go. Perfect. I'm just adding in a couple more things. I'll move this plant down here so I can add a dresser, maybe just these trunks here. And then I think I want to add an animal like a fish, maybe a couple of them. Maybe we can also have the bird from Life and Death. Like, we need some kind of life in here. Okay, Earth, how cute is this? I love this side. It's so cozy. I love like the wood tones in here too. All of the plants, of course. And then maybe for the bathroom, we'll make it blue. Like, it can be ocean inspired. Oh, we can use the wave stone. This wallpaper is literally called from the earth itself. I'll use some eco lifestyle flooring, and then actually I'll use the eco lifestyle plumbing. We can also add a couple more of the cats and dogs pictures, and then I'm moving all of this forward so I can just add some plants behind the bathtub. Okay, cute. I like the bathroom in here. This might end up being my favorite, which is funny because I don't think I would have said that Earth is my favorite planet, although I guess it should be. But there we go. That is our Earth room. Next, we're moving on, and the next one will be for Mars. Okay, so Mars is a really cool planet. It's a desert, it's dusty, it's cold, but it has seasons. And not only that, it also has weather, it has old volcanoes. It was named after the god of war because of its like reddish blood color. And in astrology, it influences assertiveness and aggression, but it can also represent courage, strength, and motivation. This one's cool. I'm excited about this one. Okay, this wallpaper from Love Struck is perfect. I think I want to try and find like a stone floor, maybe this one. And I already know I'm changing some of this lighting to red. And then for the bed, I feel like it has to be very specific. Oh, like this one from the Industrial Loft Kit. And then we could use this stone piece here as a rug. I'm gonna put that underneath my bed. We could add this one here by the door. And I want to use some of the desert inspired items that we have. Like this fireplace, for example. This is from the Desert Luxe Kit. I feel like this could be really cool in here. I'm gonna use this couch. It does come in red if we want to use that, but then I really would love to include a kitchen and or a bathroom. So I do think I can build this out a tiny bit. I've got a balcony going on up top, so like if this comes out a little, that would be fine. Then we can build a small bathroom right here, and Mercury can remain the little guy. It's not gonna be anything special in here, just like a tiny bathroom. I'll try and find like a stone sink, and we'll keep this very basic. It's just the things that they need. So like I'll use the stone toilet from Seasons. I feel like we could use some of the tarot decor since we are named after the god of war. Like some of these have swords on them. I feel like that could work. I do have room for a kitchen, so I'm just doing a small one over here. I think I will keep with the dream home decorator stuff today, but to save room, I'm gonna skip on the sink. They can use the one in the bathroom. It's not a big deal. This planet doesn't have water anyway. I'm raising some clutter onto these shelves. Oh, you know what I have not been adding is like fun crystals or rocks, gems. I feel like that could make this build look really cool. And I do also want a slight alien vibe to this room. A lot of people believe there either is life or was life on Mars. I feel like Mars is just kind of like the alien planet, so I kind of want to add some posters, some of like the conspiracy ones from Strangerville. Ooh, the salt rock lamp could work. I'm gonna change the color of it. It has to be red. I'm gonna put the swords on display. The refined living room kit has these like blocky sort of tables. I do also need a dining table still, but maybe we're a little iffy on the inhabitants. Like, we're unsure exactly of who we are hosting. I am the biggest nerd. We could also use the Journey to Batu plants since I don't really want to use real ones in here. And then as a final thing, I'm gonna add an alien fossil over here and also the alien birth certificate. And alright, there we go. That is Mars if it were a bedroom in The Sims 4. Honestly, this one's really cool too. I like the direction that we went with it. I like the colors in here. I feel like the red lighting always looks so pretty in this game. I really want to see what these look like as Sims. So let me know if you guys want to see a part 2 where I do that. But okay, we're moving on. That's it for the bottom floor. I'm gonna do the rest of this later. I want to really just focus on the bedrooms. So the next one, actually these are looking small, and it can't be because the next one is Jupiter. And Jupiter is literally the biggest planet we've got. It is so big it could fit 8,000 Earths inside it. That is insane. This is the one with that big orange spot on it, but that red spot is apparently a massive storm that has been raging for hundreds of years. Oh, and that storm is bigger than Earth. What? Because of its size, Jupiter was named after the king of the gods in Roman mythology, and in astrology it represents luck and opportunity. Looking ahead, this layout is going to be a problem because these outer planets are literally the biggest ones in the system. So they can't have the smallest rooms. We're going to have to expand. It'll be fine. I'll just move everything over. Then this is going to be hanging off a little bit, but I could hold it up with some columns and then we just have like an overhang. I'll just have to adjust the roofing a little and everything is gonna be fine. All right, I fixed it. Sizing is not completely proportionate, but it is just gonna have to be good enough. Anyway, as I was saying, Jupiter is kind of stripy. So like I feel like a stripy wallpaper like this one would work. And then maybe I could make that big storm using this. Kind of more round. If I had like a round rug, I could use this one. And then we can use this bed. This one feels like it should be another like fancy one. Fancy, but in like a bold way. Maybe we go for more bold decor. We could use like a super funky lamp somewhere like this one from the Decor to the Max kit. I'll add a couch over here. Maybe this artwork can actually go behind the love seat. I'll add a table here with a TV on it, and then maybe to hide that, we could also go in with some kind of divider. Although I do feel like that looks strange unless you're looking at it from the other angle. We could cover it with a bookshelf, and then we do need a kitchen, so I'm gonna add that over here. This one should have room for everything, including a dining table. And then I want to add a little cabinet or something where I can add the lucky liquid. This comes with the Sims 4 Enchanted by Nature. It's actually an elixir, and any Sim who consumes it will feel a temporary boost to their luck. So completely fitting for this planet. I feel like these lights would be pretty in here from city living. I'm trying to use these curtains to hide the windows because I like them from the outside, but on the inside, they're a little hard to work with. I'm also adding extra artwork in this one, and like since this one is so grand, I feel like we should include a statue. Maybe I'll do that instead of the plant because we don't have those. This one is essentially just one giant planet of gas. Instead of that wall decor I had, I'm gonna lean into the storm aspects. I'm gonna use this orange circular mirror. Oh wait, and we could also use the celestial crystal crown here. They need a crown of some kind, and that one just fits. I played around with the lighting in here, and this is what we got. I like this one. I feel like it is still like fancy, kind of like Venus, but I feel like it's got a little more like royalty to it, a little more personality. I do still have to do the bathroom, but we've got our kitchen complete, dining. I really like the bed area too. For this one, I think I'll do the bathtub and shower combo, but then I will still keep with the fancy toilet and the fancy sink. And again, we're doing circle mirror to signify that spot. Okay, so here we have our bathroom, and that is going to be Jupiter all complete. All right, moving on from this one, the next one will be Saturn. This one has got to be one of the most iconic in my opinion because of the rings. Similar to Jupiter, this is another massive planet, and it's mostly made up of gas. It's mostly known for its rings, of course, and apparently the rings are made up of billions of tiny pieces of ice chunks and other materials like dust, fairy dust. It's named after the Roman god of agriculture and wealth, also known as the father of Jupiter. There are also tons of moons in its orbit, and in astrology it represents responsibility, time, and routine. So I feel like this one has to be made for an older Sim. Ooh, maybe we tried this wallpaper, and I need a nice like sturdy bed. Like, does that make sense? And then ideally I want there to be rings around this bed. Like, we could use this rug, but I feel like that's not enough. I feel like we should also use this. This is from My Wedding Stories. I feel like the swatches might be a little difficult. There is this one. This looks a little less like a circle though. Unless we kind of play around with our swatches a little here. Maybe we change up our bed. I do feel like there's a Saturn inspired item in this game. Ooh, there's a picture. Hate the frame, but I mean, we have to include this. Okay, wait, I have an idea. Since this one is known for its rings, we can add the gemology table and we can add a bunch of rings. This one is is giving professor. I want to add in a few bookshelves. I was gonna give them a bigger bathroom, but we're just gonna do a smaller one. I still need a kitchen, and this way we have a little bit more room. Because of all of the moons, we need the moon mirror. There's also a lot of moon decor we can use from Crystal Creations, and I want to make sure we add all of these cabinets with rings on display. We're gonna add a kitchen right here. I'm gonna use appliances for this one from Realm of Magic, and then what if we added bookshelves going over top of the kitchen? Like, instead of cabinets going over, we have bookshelves. I know it's a fire hazard, okay? But like, that looks kind of cool. And like, what are we gonna do? Tell Jupiter's dad to follow the rules? I don't think so. I'm adding more moon decor in here. This is from Werewolves. There's also this picture here we can add in from Realm of Magic. Oh, and we could also do the moon rug. All of the circles in here make sense too. I think a fireplace could really work in this room. I'm gonna add one here. And then as one final thing, I'm gonna try and make my own Saturn light. I've got this light here from Jungle Adventure, and then I'm gonna add in this one from Journey to Batu, and then we've got a little makeshift Saturn light. Okay, so this is our Saturn room. Definitely a jewelry maker, definitely making those rings. This one is so cozy on the inside, and I feel like it does give off like an older, maybe more established sim sort of vibe. I really like the kitchen with those bookshelves going over top, and of course our light. And then for the bathroom, I just finished that one off. It's super simple. I did include this mirror because that is also giving Saturn. We just have a shower and our toilet in there. I'm glad these ones ended up right beside each other too. Okay, we have 2 more to go. The next one will be for Uranus, which is a very weird planet. It spins sideways, it's super cold, super windy, and it's basically one big ball of ice. The color of it though is so pretty. I feel like this is maybe one of the prettiest colored planets. It is named after the Greek god of the sky, and in astrology it's actually known as like the rebellious teenager of the zodiac. It's known for its individuality and revolution. Okay, first of all, we need to get that icy color right. Like, I kind of want to do something like this, and then we'll do this for the bathroom. I think I want to bring back the platforms for this one, so we'll raise that up. And then for the bed, I do want to lean into like the rebellious sort of idea. I want to keep the icy feel though. Maybe we go with this heart bed, and somehow I want to use this light from My Wedding Stories. I don't know how. Maybe we raise it up on like a pedestal and we display them like this. That looks kind of fun. Maybe we can shrink some of them and put them around and it can be like this funky display. I feel like some kind of neon in here could work. And then we could even put this over it. Like, that looks sort of interesting. And I feel like it has that icy effect. For the same reason, I'm adding these mirrors. This is cool so far. Over here, I'm gonna add a dresser. I also want to add a stand-up mirror. Maybe I can try and make room for that. I'm also adding different curtains for this one. These ones are from High School Years. And then again, I want to add more neon. These are from Businesses and Hobbies. I would love to also add some instruments in here. Oh, we could also use the inflatable furniture. I feel like that also gives off that like icy feel with that coffee table from High School Years. I want to add a record player, and these Enchanted by Nature counters just match so perfectly. So we're gonna add these. I'll replace one of them with a fridge, and I feel like this one just needs like a tabletop oven. Nothing crazy. They're not cooking up anything wild here. Ooh, we also could have matched some beanbag chairs. So maybe we'll just do inflatable couch. I'll have a couple chairs there, and there we go. This one I did not expect to turn out so cute. I love the colors in here. I feel like this is such a unique color scheme for a bedroom in The Sims 4. I feel like it totally matches the vibe I was going for too. I did also do a bathroom. Nothing too special in here. I used that same mirror we used for Jupiter, and with that we have one more room to go. And the final one is Neptune. This is the furthest planet in our solar system, and the color of this one is also so pretty. It's like this dark blue cold planet. It's also another ice planet. This one is named after Neptune, the Roman god of the sea, and in astrology it represents dreams, healing, and intuition. I'm glad these two are next to each other too, because these two are besties. That's just a given. We need this to be dark. I'm again raising this up on a platform. Ooh, I just found the perfect one for Saturn. I have to put it in here. The sim is apparently into lights as well. Okay, I need a dark blue bed. I'm thinking this one from Life and Death. Could also do this one from Cats and Dogs. And this rug from High School Years is perfect. I want to use this somewhere. And like, I want this one to be really moody. This sim could be a gloomy sim. Maybe they're a little loner. All they have is their bestie, because that's the only one like beside them. Everyone else is just so far away. But maybe they can bond over music. I'm also gonna give them a record player. They could have this one. Okay, I need a little more light. I'll add some seating up here. Along the platform, I can add my kitchen. And then we could do a fridge in this corner. That way we can do oven here and our sink can go there. I also want to include crystals in this one. Maybe also some Crystal Creations artwork. Okay, this is kind of random with the pineapple, but these skateboards work. If I can like cover the pineapple somehow. Oh, and the Journey to Batu plants would definitely work. This is like the darkest, creepiest hallway in the back ever. And I feel like I also want to add a couple guitars in this one. Maybe that's how these two bond. For the bathroom, I'm again going to use any of the darker items that we have, like the all black bathtub with this fancy sink from Get Famous, also in black. And there we go, we have our room for Neptune. This one is so cool too. I cannot pick a favorite. Let me know which one was your favorite today, and let me know which one resonates with you the most. Maybe it would have something to do with your zodiac sign. Here we have the bathroom for Neptune, and then in one of the main rooms for the common areas. I'm making this fountain. I've sized up one of the lights from my wedding stories. That's gonna be like our sun. These little things are gonna be planets. I'm gonna try and adjust them to size. I don't know how successful we'll be there. I can only make it so many sizes in this game. And like I can change the colors of some of them. This is getting like less and less accurate, but you get the point. Okay, you know what? Yeah, it's not that bad. Okay, so this is how the upstairs turned out with the fountain. There's some seating in here. There are some desks as well with some computers. There's some TVs. But then downstairs, I made this like space-inspired bar. It looks so cool. That bar is from Realm of Magic. There's a piano in the back. They've got some bookshelves here they could read to if they wanted. And of course, we have our public washrooms, mostly for Mercury. But that's all I got for you guys. If you liked the video, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know which room was your favorite. And thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one.